Welcome to English Mystery Channel, where we make learning English fun and easy through mystery stories. A Dream of Speaking English Fluently. Chapter 1: The Seed of a Dream. There was a small village in a faraway land, nestled between green hills and flowing rivers. In this village lived a little girl named Sarah. Sarah was 10 years old, with bright, curious eyes and a smile that could light up a room. She lived with her parents and two younger brothers in a modest house made of bricks and wood. Her father was a farmer, and her mother took care of the home and children. Sarah's village was peaceful, but it was also a place where people spoke only their native language. English, the language of the world, was something Sarah had only heard about. She had seen people on television speaking it and had heard it in songs that played on the old radio in their kitchen. It fascinated her, this language that sounded so different from the words she knew. One day, as she was helping her mother in the kitchen, Sarah asked, "Mama, why don't we speak English?" Her mother chuckled and replied, "We don't need to, my dear. We speak our language, and it's enough for us here." But Sarah wasn't satisfied with that answer. She had a dream of speaking English fluently. She wanted to understand the songs on the radio and the words in the movies. She wanted to be able to talk to people from faraway places, to travel, and to learn about the world beyond her village. Every night, after finishing her homework and chores, Sarah would sit by the window, gazing at the stars, and dream about the day she would be able to speak English. She knew it wouldn't be easy. She had no one to practice with, no English classes in her village, and very few books to learn from. But Sarah was determined. She promised herself that she would find a way, no matter how hard it was. Chapter 2: The First Steps. The next morning, Sarah woke up with a sense of purpose. She had made up her mind to start learning English, even if she had to do it all by herself. She remembered the old dictionary that her father had brought home one day, a thick book with tiny letters, full of words and their meanings. It had been sitting on the shelf, gathering dust, because no one in the family knew how to use it. Sarah climbed up on a chair, reached for the dictionary, and carefully took it down. She opened it, feeling the weight of the pages in her small hands. The words looked strange, and many of them were long and complicated. But Sarah wasn't afraid. She knew that every journey began with a single step. She decided to start with the alphabet. Sarah had seen the English letters before, but she didn't know what sounds they made or how to put them together to make words. She spent the entire day practicing the letters, writing them down on a piece of paper, and saying them out loud. A, B, C, she whispered to herself, over and over again. That evening, when her father came home, Sarah showed him what she had been working on. "Papa, look. I'm learning the alphabet in English," she said proudly. Her father smiled and patted her head. "That's very good, Sarah. You're a smart girl. But remember, it's not going to be easy. You'll have to work very hard." "I know, Papa. But I'm ready," Sarah replied with determination in her eyes. From that day on, Sarah spent every spare moment she had learning English. She would wake up early in the morning to practice before school and stay up late at night. Reading the dictionary by the dim light of a candle. She listened to English songs on the radio, even though she couldn't understand the words yet, and tried to mimic the sounds. Chapter 3: A Friend in Need. One day, while Sarah was practicing her English in the small schoolyard, a classmate named Amina noticed her. Amina was a quiet girl, always sitting at the back of the class, but she had a kind heart. She approached Sarah and asked, "What are you doing?" Sarah looked up and smiled. "I'm learning English. Do you want to join me?" Amina hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "I'd like that," she said shyly. From that day on, Sarah and Amina became study partners. They would meet every day after school under the big mango tree near the schoolyard. Sarah would teach Amina what she had learned, and together, they would practice speaking the new words and phrases they had memorized. They would laugh at their mistakes, correct each other, and encourage one another to keep going. Amina's friendship made the learning process a little easier for Sarah. She no longer felt like she was alone in her journey. With Amina by her side, Sarah felt more confident, and her English improved day by day. But despite her progress, Sarah still struggled when it came to speaking English with others. The fear of making mistakes and being laughed at kept her from fully expressing herself. Whenever she tried to speak English in front of her family or classmates, her words would get jumbled up, and she would feel her cheeks burn with embarrassment. Chapter 4: The Mirror Method. One evening, as Sarah was brushing her hair in front of the small mirror in her bedroom, an idea came to her. What if she practiced speaking English in front of the mirror? That way, she could see herself and hear her own voice, without the fear of being judged by others. Sarah decided to give it a try. She stood in front of the mirror, took a deep breath, and began to speak. At first, the words came out slowly and awkwardly, but she didn't stop. She practiced simple sentences, like, "My name is Sarah," and "I like to learn English." She watched her reflection, correcting her pronunciation and trying to make her words sound as natural as possible. Day by day, Sarah's confidence grew. The mirror became her best friend, her silent listener who never judged her mistakes. She practiced every morning before school and every night before bed. She even started pretending that she was having conversations with people in English, imagining that she was in a different place, speaking to strangers who didn't know her language. One day, after weeks of practice, Sarah decided to take a big step. She gathered her courage and went to her father, who was sitting on the porch, reading a newspaper. "Papa, can I talk to you in English?" she asked nervously. Her father looked up, surprised but pleased. "Of course, Sarah. Let's hear it." Sarah took a deep breath and began to speak. Her voice was shaky at first, but as she continued, she felt more confident. She told her father about her day at school, what she had learned, and how much she enjoyed learning English. She made a few mistakes, but her father didn't correct her. He just listened, smiling with pride. When Sarah finished, her father said, "That was wonderful, Sarah. You've come so far. I'm very proud of you." Sarah's heart swelled with happiness. For the first time, she had spoken English with someone other than Amina or the mirror, and she hadn't let her fear stop her. She knew she still had a long way to go, but she also knew that she was on the right path. This is just the beginning of Sarah's journey. The rest of the story could explore how she continues to improve, faces setbacks, and eventually gains the confidence to use English in ways that open new doors for her. Like winning a school competition, helping a traveler, or even receiving a scholarship for further education. If you'd like, I can help expand on specific chapters or create more of the story in this style. Just let me know how you'd like to proceed. Chapter 5: New Horizons. The days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Sarah's dedication to learning English began to show remarkable results. Her pronunciation improved, her vocabulary expanded, and her confidence grew. Yet, Sarah knew that there was still so much more to learn. She often found herself longing for real conversations with native English speakers, but her village remained isolated from the rest of the world. One sunny afternoon, as Sarah and Amina sat under the mango tree, they overheard a conversation between two visitors who had come to their village. They were tourists from a distant city, speaking animatedly in English. Sarah's heart raced with excitement. This was the opportunity she had been waiting for. With a mixture of courage and nervousness, Sarah approached the tourists. She took a deep breath and said, "Hello, my name is Sarah. I am learning English. Can I practice with you?" The tourists looked at her with surprise and delight. One of them, a kind woman named Linda, smiled and replied, "Of course, Sarah. We'd be happy to help." Sarah's heart fluttered as she engaged in her first real conversation in English. She told Linda about her village, her family, and her dreams of learning English. Linda listened intently and responded with encouraging words. Sarah made several mistakes, but Linda's gentle corrections and supportive comments helped her stay motivated. As the conversation ended, Linda handed Sarah a small notebook. "This is for you," she said. "Keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn." Sarah thanked Linda, her eyes shining with gratitude. She knew that this experience was a turning point in her journey. She had taken a bold step, faced her fears, and succeeded. The notebook became her cherished possession, a symbol of her progress and the kindness of strangers. Chapter 6: The Village Festival. The village festival was a time of celebration, with colorful decorations, traditional music, and dancing. It was the highlight of the year for everyone, and Sarah looked forward to it with great anticipation. This year, however, the festival had a special significance for Sarah. She had been chosen to give a short speech in English about her journey and the importance of learning new languages. Sarah felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. She had practiced her speech countless times in front of the mirror, but speaking in front of the entire village was a different challenge. She knew that this was her chance to show everyone what she had accomplished and to inspire others to pursue their own dreams. The day of the festival arrived, and the village square was bustling with activity. Sarah's parents, Amina, and many of her friends gathered to watch the event. Sarah stood on the stage, her heart pounding, as she prepared to deliver her speech. She glanced at the crowd, saw the encouraging smiles of her family, and took a deep breath. "Good evening, everyone," Sarah began, her voice slightly shaky but determined. "My name is Sarah, and I have been learning English. It has been a challenging journey, but also a rewarding one. Learning a new language opens up new opportunities and helps us understand the world better. I want to thank everyone who has supported me, especially my friend Amina and the kind tourists who visited our village." Sarah continued her speech, talking about the joy of learning and the importance of perseverance. She stumbled over a few words and had to pause to gather her thoughts, but she pushed through, her resolve strengthening with each sentence. When she finished, the crowd erupted in applause. Her parents' eyes were filled with pride, and Amina beamed at her from the front row. Sarah felt a wave of relief and happiness wash over her. She had faced her fear and shared her journey with the village. Chapter 7: The Path Ahead. Sarah's speech at the festival marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Her newfound confidence inspired others in the village, and several children and adults expressed interest in learning English. Sarah, along with Amina, began teaching small classes in the village community center. They used the notebook from Linda, filled with new vocabulary and phrases, to guide their lessons. Sarah also continued to practice her English diligently. She read books, watched English films, and spoke with anyone who was willing to converse with her. Her hard work paid off when she received an offer to participate in a summer program for young learners of English in a nearby city. The program promised to provide more structured lessons and opportunities to interact with other English learners. The thought of traveling to the city excited Sarah. It was a chance to immerse herself in English, meet new people, and further her education. With the support of her family and friends, Sarah accepted the offer and prepared for the adventure ahead. As she packed her bags and said goodbye to her village, Sarah felt a mix of emotions. She was excited about the new experiences that awaited her, but also saddened to leave the place she had called home. Her family and friends gathered to see her off, offering their best wishes and encouragement. When Sarah arrived in the city, she was amazed by the bustling streets, towering buildings, and the diverse people she encountered. The summer program was everything she had hoped for and more. She attended classes, participated in activities, and made new friends from different backgrounds. She continued to work hard, embracing every opportunity to practice and learn. Chapter 8: Embracing the Future. The summer program ended, but Sarah's journey was far from over. She returned to her village with new skills, experiences, and a renewed sense of purpose. She continued teaching English and shared her stories from the city with her students. The village, once quiet and isolated, began to change. More people became interested in learning English, and the community grew more connected to the outside world. Sarah's dedication and hard work were recognized when she received a scholarship to study English at a prestigious university. It was a dream come true, and she knew it was just the beginning of many more adventures to come. As Sarah prepared for her new journey, she reflected on her path. From the quiet village to the bustling city, she had faced challenges, learned from her mistakes, and built the confidence to communicate in English. Her journey had not only opened doors for her but had also inspired others to pursue their own dreams. Sarah knew that the world was full of possibilities, and she was excited to explore them. Her dream of learning English had led her to new horizons, and she was ready to embrace whatever the future had in store. Epilogue: The Ripple Effect. Years later, Sarah looked back on her journey with a sense of fulfillment. She had achieved her goals, but more importantly, she had made a difference in the lives of others. Her village had transformed into a place where learning English was encouraged, and many people had followed in her footsteps. Sarah continued to use her English skills to bridge cultures, connect people, and inspire others. Her story became a symbol of perseverance and the power of dreams. And as she shared her experiences with the next generation, she hoped to ignite the same spark of curiosity and determination that had guided her on her journey. Sarah's story was a testament to the fact that with hard work, courage, and the support of others, even the smallest of dreams could lead to the greatest of achievements. And so, the young girl from a small village became a beacon of hope and inspiration, reminding everyone that the world was full of endless possibilities, waiting to be explored.